Starbucks, the global coffee monster. Is there a place on this planet where they don't have a shop? Maybe the Arctic, maybe Antarctica. I bet they would even beat Elon Musk to Mars. But despite all that, they've got earnings next week. And I'm going to have a look at where that share price has been heading over the last few months and years and where it could be heading next post earnings. And I'm also going to throw in a few trade ideas for you as well. So with that, let's get on with that analysis. So into the weekly line chart for Starbucks, what's it giving us? Well, we can see this big area here for many years, really, a sideways trending stock, and then 2019 we saw that nice run up, pull back, and then during COVID really pushed on high up to those highs around the $130 mark before once again pulling off back down to this sort of 23.6% Fibonacci line, which is about $74.75. So it has created a lot of support around. As you can see, it seems to be a key price zone. So if price goes below that, it's a serious break, but like I say, it could be building itself for a nice move back towards those highs. And you're wondering what the blue area, shaded area, is below the price chart there. Well, that's actually the correlation of Starbucks stock price to the price of coffee beans. I want to see if there was any relationship there. As you can see, during COVID it was a strong positive relationship. Anything above that zero line there is a positive relationship. That means the price moves in line with the coffee beans there. But for most of the time, while that price was flat, there was no real relationship, and it was the opposite actually in that first bull run. So bit of a mixed bag there, not giving me much information to use in that relationship. But the weekly line chart at the moment, I would say it's done a consolidation phase and it's pushed on. It's coming up to this $84, $85 mark, another key Fibonacci line. Like I say, earnings just round the corner. Can it push it on upwards? Now, if you're a shorter term trader, a 4-line break chart could be something to help you calling those turns. And we've got a downside set up here with a couple of numbers. We got the 80 1/4 and 79 1/2 as possible entry points for a downside move. And heading into the daily high Kanashi chart, what are signals? Well, they're bullish at the bottom there at the moment. The DMI crosses. Volatility actually down quite a bit from its longer term average, which is about 38-40%, down into the late teens, and volume also looks like it's been trading downwards as well. You can see earnings just around the corner, and here we have our long-term probability power box tool giving us the odds probability of a potential move in whatever direction. At the moment it's a near 70% chance of an up move. We tie that in with this institutional power zone, these red dashed lines, which are good support and resistance, and you can see it's been hugging those. The trend has been down though, so that's sort of negating that trade at the moment. We wait till that to flip green, and it's probably going to do that very soon, and then we'd be looking for that move upwards, and maybe that institutional power zone there as a first target zone around $107. But at the moment it's looking quite quiet but weak bullish, I would say. As its earnings fast approaching, I wanted to see what statistically Starbucks does before and after earnings, and I've gone into Wall Street odds to find that information. Got a video on how Wall Street odds work. You can see that in the channel. This is telling me what happens in terms of up and down days, and we're looking at Q2 here, and we've seen a range of between +10 and -5%. So I'll take that information onto our Renko chart. We've used 75 cents for the block size and just placed that information on the chart to give you an idea of the range. It's not a massive range, or is there any key levels there? Well, maybe it's that 79 1/2, and maybe could say round the sort of mid 90s possible range for earnings if price stays where it is at the moment, around the mid 80s. And we go back down to the signals, it's all looking quite bullish at the moment. There, the stochastics and the regression, all bullish. The trend has been down over 2022, so it hasn't been that great a period for them, but we are seeing some stability come in and key support around this 70-75 zone, so watch out for the breaks there. And if it does break down, then I've highlighted a couple of areas, about $70 and the mid $50 for a downside move. Upsides, well, the first one is 61.8% line, which is about $87.50, which falls within that range of the earnings potential outcomes. And then just above that, just under $100, and then just going to have to try and get back towards those highs around about $117. So with that, let's take a look at some trade ideas. Let's first of all start in the world of spread betting and CFDs. Now, got my Trade Nation account over here. They offer US minis, and there's SBUX, as we can see right there. That gives it about 10 times smaller than a standard size spread bet. That allows smaller accounts to trade this, and as you can see, the small trade size as well, 0.1, and you're going to get about 5-to-1 leverage there. So if you are bearish, this is the advantage of CFDs and spread betting. You can take that short trade. It's not going to cost or cause you problems to put that trade on. And if you're bullish, you know, again, you're going to get the leverage to the upside. So moving on from there, let's go into first trade and look at their options simulator to get some options trade ideas. So some bullish ideas around SBUX, and one for possibility of the price moving in either direction by quite a bit, and that is our first trade there, the straddle. I've gone for September expiry, where it's at the money around the sort of $85 zone. Now I put $1,000 of hypothetical cash into this trade idea, and that trade itself will cost you $865. And if we mess around with the price, what does it have to do to make us any money? Well, if it goes up into the sort of 100, 105 area, that's 132% return, $1,150 profit, very nice. And to the downside again, it's gonna move a reasonable way, and we're starting to look at 75 and below. And to get that sort of similar type of profit to the upside, you're going to need a move all the way below quite a lot of price action noise, which we did see on the Req'd chart. You know, that $60 area for a same sort of return to the downside. Now, moving on to our next one, just the outright call. You fancy there, going back towards those highs. I've used October expiry, 82.5 strike. I've given it, you know, a bit of time to be able to get there and keep the cost down using that October date. And again, let's play with the price. Gets back up to $110, $111, nice 386% return, $2,280 profit on a cost of $590. Now the final trade we got there is a bullish put spread type trade, and as you can see from that, it's going to net you $101, and I've used the 65 and 75 strikes. Used September expiry, maybe a bit too long. You could maybe shorten that down to, you know, 30 days expiry, and we could do that right now just to see what happens to the outcome. Let's pick the August expiry there, August 19th. It's going to, you know, take the, you know, profit you're going to make there, that fixed amount that you're going to get, $62, and you know, it's not too bad a trade if you're more weak bullish than outright bullish. So there you go, got 3 options trade ideas there for you, plus the spread bets and CFD. So now let's move on and give Starbucks a score. So in terms of a score based purely on the technicals at the moment, I'm going weak bullish for Starbucks heading into Heikin-Ashi. That trend has been down, but the other signals starting to turn things around. Like to see a bit of a pickup in volume and volatility though, and our probability power score also indicating a stronger chance of an up move, but we've got to wait for that trend, that T there, that red one, to flip to green before getting interested. Up in the top right hand corner, 4-line break chart for sort of reversal, calling the turn type entry points. Bearish setup around the 80, late 79s for entry points there, and the Renko as well, similar to the Heikin-Ashi. Signals bullish at the moment, trend has been weak bullish, but things starting to look a bit more stable, and possibly, with earnings coming up, looking to push on upwards. Now in terms of targets, we've got 2.33 and 3.5 to 1 to the upside, and 1.66 and 3.83 to 1 to the downside. So overall at the moment, Starbucks weak bullish. Let me know in those comments below what you think of the analysis. Do you agree, disagree with it? Where do you think Starbucks are heading next? What impact is earnings going to have on the stock price? Is it cementing a base for a nice push back towards those highs? I'd love to hear your opinions as well. And if you've got any other stocks you want me to have a look at, please chuck them in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. And if you've liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons, and all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.